Let's jump right in. Today we're taking a fascinating structural look at something you hear about literally every single day, but might not fully understand. I'm talking about vitamins. We're going to break down exactly what every vitamin actually does in our bodies, how they work, and most importantly, how we can get them right.
Okay, so to kick things off, let's clarify exactly what a vitamin is. These are organic molecules. And that's an absolutely vital distinction, because it separates them from minerals, like calcium or iron, which are inorganic elements that come from rocks and soil. Vitamins, on the other hand, are produced by plants and animals. They're completely essential for our metabolic functions, our growth, and our development. But here's the catch, right? Our bodies either can't synthesize them at all, or we just can't make enough of them to survive. So that means we have to get them from our environment, which usually means through what we eat.
You know, it's actually wild to think that we haven't known about these essential compounds for very long. Back in 1912, a biochemist named Casimir Funk coined the term vitamine, which was this blend of vital amine, after discovering that certain organic factors actually cured dietary deficiency diseases. Then, fast forward to 1935, and synthetic vitamins hit the commercial market. But get this, it wasn't until 1948 that all 13 of the recognized vitamins we know today were fully discovered. We went from literally having no clue they existed to a massive global supplement craze in less than a century.
So, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. The Great Vitamin Divide. 2. Fat-soluble, handle with care. 3. Water-soluble, daily deliveries. 4. The overdose danger. And 5. The food-first solution.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the Great Vitamin Divide.
You can actually divide all 13 vitamins into just two main categories, based on one master principle of solubility. And this one principle? It determines almost everything about how they behave inside your body. On one side, we have fat-soluble vitamins. Now, these can't enter your bloodstream directly. Instead, they dissolve in dietary fat, get packaged into these little fat globules, and travel through your lymphatic system. On the other side, we've got water-soluble vitamins. These easily dissolve in water and are absorbed directly into the bloodstream right from your intestine.
And because of how they dissolve, these two groups act completely differently. Fat-soluble vitamins accumulate and get stored in your liver and fatty tissues for months. Because you're storing them like a biological pantry, you don't strictly need to eat them every single day. But that storage also means the overdose risk is pretty high. Now, water-soluble vitamins are the exact opposite. Your body has very limited storage for them, and any excess is flushed out quickly in your urine. This means you need a consistent daily intake, but on the flip side, your overdose risk is generally very low.
Moving on to Section 2, Fat-soluble, handle with care.
So there are exactly 4 fat-soluble vitamins. And here's a super simple memory trick to recall them. A, D, E, K. That's vitamins A, D, E, and K.
Let's quickly look at their core functions. Vitamin A is absolutely crucial for your vision and immune system. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption and keeping your bones healthy. Vitamin E offers this incredible antioxidant protection for your cells. And vitamin K? That's the key player in normal blood clotting. Now, remember our master principle here? Because these are fat-soluble, they literally have to be paired with dietary fat to be effectively absorbed. If you just take an ADEK supplement on an empty stomach, or maybe with a low-fat meal, a huge amount of it is just going to pass right through you. You need healthy fats like a bit of avocado, some seeds, or olive oil to unlock them and get them moving into your lymphatic system.
All right, Section 3, water-soluble, daily deliveries. To remember our water-soluble friends, just use the memory trick B plus C. This group includes all 8 of the B-complex vitamins, along with vitamin C.
The B-complex vitamins, things like thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and folate, are essentially the engines of your metabolism. They help convert the food you eat into energy, support your nervous system, and form red blood cells. Then there's vitamin C, which is your heavy lifter for collagen synthesis, wound healing, and acting as a powerful antioxidant. Now, because these dissolve in water, your body flushes them out in a matter of hours, meaning you've got to consume them consistently. But there is one fascinating exception to this rule: vitamin B12. While it is technically water-soluble, B12 is actually stored in the liver for years. It's an incredible biological quirk. But for the rest of those B and C vitamins, you really need those daily deliveries.
This brings us to a major challenge with water-soluble vitamins. They are incredibly fragile. Vitamin C, for instance, is highly susceptible to destruction by both heat and air exposure. Thiamine, or B1, is destroyed by high heat, and riboflavin, B2, is degraded by light. This is exactly why how you store and cook your food matters so immensely. If you boil vegetables for too long, you can literally wash away or destroy the water-soluble vitamins right into the cooking water.
Which leads us to Section 4, the overdose danger. I really want you to think about this question for a second. Can you actually overdose on vitamins? In a culture where we often think, if a little is good, a lot must be better, the idea that more vitamins equals more health is a very common and honestly very dangerous myth.
The crucial point here is this staggering number, 60,000. According to poison control reports in the U.S., more than 60,000 people, and that includes children under the age of 6, are subjected to life-threatening outcomes every single year due to vitamin toxicities. We aren't just talking about a minor stomachache here. These are severe medical emergencies caused almost entirely by excessive supplementation.
The actual medical term for this condition is hypervitaminosis, and it can happen in two ways. Acute hypervitaminosis occurs when someone takes a massive dose of supplements all at once. Chronic hypervitaminosis, though, is much more insidious. It's the gradual buildup of vitamins over extended periods of time, usually months. Because fat-soluble vitamins accumulate in your tissues and liver, they are the main culprits here. Common initial symptoms include severe headaches, unexplainable weakness, persistent nausea, and dizziness.
Let's look at vitamin A as a prime example of this danger. Taking high-dose preformed vitamin A supplements, known as retinol, over a long period can cause liver damage, bone abnormalities, and severe teratogenic effects, which means it can cause birth defects during pregnancy. But compare that to getting vitamin A from food, like the beta-carotene you'd find in sweet potatoes or carrots. Our bodies have this brilliant built-in safety mechanism. They regulate the conversion of beta-carotene into vitamin A. So you literally cannot get hypervitaminosis A from eating carrots. In fact, if you eat too much beta-carotene, the worst thing that happens is a completely harmless condition where your skin temporarily turns just a little bit orange.
Vitamin D is another major concern. Because of worries about vitamin D deficiency, a lot of people aggressively oversupplement. But taking long-term megadoses, typically over 4,000 IU daily, can lead to hypercalcemia, which is a dangerous buildup of calcium in your tissues. This can cause severe kidney problems, a potential greater risk of cardiovascular events, and ironically, increased falls and bone fractures in the elderly. And again, this toxicity comes from pills. Your body naturally cuts off vitamin D production from sunlight when you have enough, meaning you simply cannot overdose from being out in the sun.
Let's move to our final section, the food-first solution. According to a U.S. pharmacist report, and I quote, "The FDA does not require any documentation of efficacy for vitamins and supplements." That's huge. Unlike pharmaceutical drugs, dietary supplements in many regions are heavily unmonitored. When we blindly rely on the massive supplement industry, we're taking in isolated, concentrated doses of molecules without the regulatory safety net we might expect.
The science overwhelmingly points to one clear solution here. Adopting a broad, healthy diet is absolutely the best way to ensure you get all 13 vitamins perfectly balanced. Whole grains, legumes, and seeds, those provide your metabolic B vitamins. Citrus, bell peppers, and kiwi deliver abundant vitamin C. Sweet potatoes, carrots, and leafy greens give you safe, regulated vitamin A. And sunshine, along with fortified foods or fatty fish, cover your vitamin D. When you get your vitamins from whole foods, you're getting them packaged exactly how nature intended, with fiber, minerals, and natural cofactors. Your body naturally regulates their absorption, making the risk of hypervitaminosis practically zero.